Previously on Critically Stupid.
I'm going to assume that y'all just need a refresher on the last episode because you definitely watched it, right? Right? So, as you may recall from your watching the episode, we found ourselves at the entrance of a temple that for some reason Arnold, Cerulean, and Garrett, for that matter, were a little afraid about entering. So anyway, Arnold and Cerulean feel like they got to put on a disguise. I'm not even 100% sure where Gareth went, but we went in and found that they're, as I suspected, not dangerous and just building things. We meet Charlie, who then introduces us to Nim, who is a Nimblewright. Charlie was under the impression that Nim was the only Nimblewright, but we knew that wasn't true because we've seen Nimblewrights before. Nim shares with us that they've been building things using just bits and scraps from around the temple, but apparently did not have permission to be doing so. He then goes on to share that after he builds things, and by things we mean other Nimblewrights, he leaves the window open, someone else comes in and breathes life into them, which is concerning. Also concerning, we learn that Lady Growlhund came around and asked to buy a Nimblewright, which again is strange considering that most people thought there was only the one. Nim thankfully had the foresight to make a Nimblewright detector. So we took that, and when we left the temple, Garath, who showed up again at some point, again not entirely sure where he went, but shows up also disguised, pulls out the scroll that he has. The scroll was talking about speaking with the dead. So I guess we're on our way to speak with the dead.
Oh, I'm blue
So,
again.
yeah, that's not so bad.
Why are you blue?
Dabba dee dabba die. Class. All right.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions before we get going?
Can I have $1 million?
Absolutely, yes. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to soon to be world famous critically fuck shit tits.
Ooh.
I'm Shaq with.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to soon to be world famous podcast, Critically Stupid. I am your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Alexander James. My favorite part about last episode was Cerulean's totally real character voice that Katie slipped into like a glove. It was so different from her regular voice. I almost said something.
My name, shit. I'm your favorite. Oh, fuck. I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Garath. And my favorite part of last episode was when Nim tried to scare Arnold, and instead he was inspired for a new painting.
I'm Katie, and I play Cerulean. And my favorite part about last episode was the fact that Alex was point blank about to say exactly what was on that piece of paper to Garath, except Garath can't read. So Garion was so kind to remind him, no, I do not know what it says.
Which was it would have been so easy for Gary to be like, yeah, I can read that. Tell me what it is.
Yeah, but that's way less funny.
Way less cool too.
I'm Anthony. I play Arnold, and my favorite part of last episode was when we spent 25 minutes looking in a window and trying to figure out what was going on inside.
And we literally could have walked through the door.
We could have walked in the door. We opted.
And we did actually.
You know what's crazy is I do believe there was a member of the party that said, "Hey, what if we just walked in and nobody listened to this person?"
Nobody ever listens to Mel. It's a running look. We can't abandon ship now. We never listen to her, so we can't ever.
We can't pretend like it's a bit. We're not going to pretend like this is a funny little joke.
Intentional. I don't know if it just nobody listens to me. Maybe I'm not loud enough. Hi, my name is Dianna. I play Mel, and nobody listens to me.
What's your favorite part of last episode, homie?
You didn't have one.
That part. Yeah. If people listen to me and just walked in, I mean, I just walked in.
She actually already said her favorite part, and no one listened.
I probably did, honestly. I actually introduced myself first also, but nobody listened. So I just introduced myself again.
So before we jump into the episode, we all leveled up. Well, I didn't level up shit. You all leveled up to level 3. I'd love to hear a little bit about how your characters leveled up. Let's start with Bestie.
Why you gotta do me like that? I am 100% sure I don't know how to answer the question. Like, what are you looking to know? Like,
did Mel
like,
so Mel picked up some extra hit points? Yes.
Yes, I did. 8, didn't I? Is that what it was? I'm 28.
I believe it was 8. Yes.
And I also picked up. Was it a spell?
It's not. It's actually a ranger feat called Beastmaster, which at 3rd level you get an animal companion.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everybody keep an eye out for the canonically guaranteed animal companion coming at you today.
Absolutely.
And just you wait for the new cast member who's going to come and voice it.
Yes, please do it.
It's just going to be somebody. Woof, woof.
Hey, you don't know it's a dog? Bessie had a list of 8 animals that she could have chosen from.
Ribbit.
You took one from me.
Well, I take a lot of things from you, Bestie. Anthony, tell me about Arnold.
So Arnold leveled up and changed a lot of stuff. He got smarter. He went to college. He went to the College of Lore, which means I gained 3 proficiencies that I didn't have before. I have survival because I don't want to die. Insight, animal handling, all kinds of stuff. I gained a couple more spells, which is pretty cool. I'm excited to play with those. I also have something called Cutting Words, which is basically like the Bizarro inspiration. So I hurt people who are trying to attack rather than helping my friends.
It kind of sounds like you're just mean. Cutting words.
That's pretty much what I do. I insult people. I have hurtful words, but I say it in the sweetest way possible. Like
someone's charging at you, like, yo, she was whack as hell, boy. Oh,
and it hurts deep in the core.
Your Jordans are fake as fuck.
Just as somebody's coming at you, you just like point at their fantasy Crocs. What are those?
What are those?
Katie, tell me about Cerulean. How did Cerulean level up?
She got a couple of like fun spell perks. So I did twin spell and distance spell.
Okay.
So I can double my spell's distance, and I can select 2. What are they? The baddies. I can take 2 baddies at one time. Anywho,
offensive spells?
You heard it here first. She could take 2 baddies at one time.
Let's
Quote verbatim.
You're not wrong. I hate it here.
We have to change the song now.
2 baddies at once coming season 4.
Oh man. And then I also selected Tasha's Mind Whip, which is a really freaking cool spell. Yeah, and it plays off of like the psionic thing that I'm kind of doing where I can talk into your brain and all that fun stuff.
The jazz.
And she
Love
also
it.
got some hit points and all the normal, all that jazz.
Love hit points.
Yes,
Gary,
my
tell me
special
about Gareth.
Gareth got 6 new hit points.
Whoa.
As well as he's starting to think about his roots, where he came from. He's diving a little bit into that arcane trickster. What's the word?
Stuff.
Archetype.
Stereotype.
He's gained 1 new spell. It's called Instant Brain Hemorrhage. It's pretty good. It's pretty self-explanatory. It gives the user, not the enemy, the user, an instant brain hemorrhage. It's pretty great.
Love that for them.
Yeah. Anybody else smelling toast?
Wow. Gareth, apparently. All right, great. Well, you guys sound like a rough and rowdy crowd ready to kick some butt. So,
I have one question. Do I still look like a dwarf? Do I still look? I think I do, right?
I mean, yeah, because you guys were headed like sort of directly to where we're headed right now. So unless you made the conscious effort to change it, you are just a neon orange, bearded, haired dwarf.
In between the Temple of Gond and the morgue, Arnold went to college, so I would assume he's changed out of his dwarf outfit.
All right, fine. No longer a dwarf.
He went to college. All 4 years is this dwarf. He's so deep in his own cover. He's
consistently recasting the spell, just holding it tight. I got this.
That's how Arnold was escaping his fantasy student loan debt by going to somebody else.
Arnold is really getting into identity theft in season 3.
If nothing else.
Okay. We're gonna do a smash cut. Smash cut. You are standing across the street. It is a relatively populated part of Waterdeep, where the city morgue is located. It is located actually ghoulishly 2 streets adjacent to what is known as the City of the Dead, or Waterdeep sprawling cemetery. The cemetery takes up several dozen acres on the city's eastern side, spread out over a handful of hills and a slumped hollow in the center. Pockmarked by various mausoleums and fallen gravestones in various states of like upkeep and decay. But the city morgue is located a couple blocks to the west, and is a fairly nondescript building with a couple of lanterns hanging out front and some barred windows, presumably to keep out the rapscallions trying to get into mischief in the city cemetery.
Do I see the person who pushed the note into my hand? Is he loitering around anywhere?
No, it's starting to turn towards evening. This isn't a bars and restaurants part of the city, so the streets are starting to pretty visibly empty. There is an alleyway along one side of this building, sort of like curving around to the back, that is empty, and there are like a handful of like horses and carriages moving sort of backwards and forwards, but nobody really like sort of like sitting on the scene.
Cool.
Cerulean's gonna look at everybody and say, y'all want to look in that alley and see if we can get around back, so we're not just like trying to barge through the front door somewhere we're not supposed to be.
Or if one of us pretends to be dead, we could just walk in and be like, it's a morgue. We have a dead body here for you.
So our game plan is playing possum.
Yes.
Do we have the prior knowledge of how dead bodies would be transported into a morgue?
You've seen several instances where like city branded wagons were sort of like positioned by crime scenes where there were sort of like freshly dead people. It happened on your first night in Waterdeep, where you first met Watchman Adam. Remember, he was standing at a scene where there was a kerfuffle and a couple of dead people. And then similarly, just the just the other day at Troll Skull, when that explosion happened, you guys saw a City Watch wagon being rolled up to load the bodies of the dead onto. So you could infer that it's they're sort of like dropped off Uber pool style.
Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead.
Regardless, I take out my disguise kit and I'm already painting my face to look like a zombie. Like I'm totally going in for I'm gonna be.
Wait, but I vote Arnold as the dead body if we go.
I think Arnold would be a great dead body.
I'd be a fantastic dead body. I can stand still like nobody's
and
business.
the closest to death, so I think it just kind of stands to reason.
I've been there. Yeah,
He's seen the other side of the veil.
But do we look like the people that would bring the dead body in?
I think Mel definitely does.
I put fake mustaches on all of them.
I would hang on really quick. I do want to know what these mustaches look like, Arnold. What mustache do you give Mel? What mustache do you give Cerulean? How do you change Garrett's pre-existing mustache?
Okay. Well, Mel gets like the full like Nietzsche, like giant like whisker, walrus stash, like on Zoidberg. You know, like that's. I'm gonna say Cerulean gets like the twirliest stash.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
It comes out, yeah. I love that, and I like the idea that I'm just gonna give Garion just a white stash, like to make him more dignified. That's what it is. It's just it's a thick stash, but it's white.
Like Sam Elliott.
Oh yes, full Sam Elliott. That's perfect.
Hey.
We can Sam Elliott or Hulk Hogan, one or the other. Either way, he's going.
Hulk Hogan.
Let's go, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, brother.
Because I look at him, I go, here you go, brother. And then I'm just, I don't, yeah. So like, are we doing this? Are we really doing this?
I hope that you give yourself a mustache, even though you're going to be the dead body.
I draw it on. I draw them. I gave you guys all of my. I only have so many mustaches so far. I have to collect more. So I'm just like, I draw on my.
He gave me a mustache instead of himself. Somebody who already.
You're his best friend.
But a great point.
What kind of facial hair does Garath have?
He has the exact same that Garion has. I'm not very clear.
Okay, so you're going to have a Hulk Hogan white mustache and then a brown goatee.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right, so
Tracks.
freshly mustachioed.
No.
How are we? What is the play? You have a cadaver and you are freshly mustachioed. Those are the two facts that I have.
You have a cadaver and you are freshly mustachioed.
I mean, as Arnold's best friend, I'll take the duty of having him like slumped over my shoulder.
Okay. Are you going front door, alley, or are you
front door?
Front door. We have the bed. We have the dead body.
Okay, Mel, you look like you have questions. Just sort of like in general.
I have so many, but I'm just
like in general. I just don't think that we've really thought this plan.
Correct.
Like we are carrying in a body. Like it looks like we murdered the body. And as someone who's done some murdering, I would like people to not think that when they.
Oh no! See,
like a mustache.
But we didn't murder him though.
I know, but if you're just carrying in a body and it's not.
Yeah, but how could they prove we murdered him if we didn't?
A bag or I'm just saying it looks pretty fucking suspicious.
I just feel like if they're checking for cause of death, they're going to notice the very apparent fact that there was no death.
Yeah, cause of death.
My makeup is immaculate. It is flipping pinpoint. Okay, like how dare you?
I can hold my breath for 6.5 minutes.
Sounds like you guys want to go straight to the front door. I love this plan. Who's first? Because Garath is obviously supporting the fallen form.
I mean, I could like kick down the door like they are like help.
Arnold, are you Arnold or are you still the dwarf from?
No, I'm Arnold. I'm dressed.
Okay.
I'm zombified Arnold. I'm dead.
Zombified, mustachioed.
Yeah.
What if we let Arnold and Gareth try the front door, at least create a distraction.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like sneak in.
We can go run back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can keep up with Gary.
No, normally I'm not normally the one causing distraction. I'm normally the one sneaking past. This is a nice change of pace.
We got this. Maybe.
Okay.
You want to know what my modifier on stealth is?
What's that?
0.
Oh well, fuck! Don't you?
Don't roll bad. Yay.
Okay. Let's do boys first.
Hail
America's subtitle. So
No.
That's
So
applicable in so many ways too.
right, it's great. Garath, you kick this door in, and it swings open. It's not locked.
It's a pull door.
You break your knee. You are looking at a small, sort of like disheveled lobby. There's like a gently dying plant in a corner. There's like a stack of brochures, like things to do in Waterdeep, that's like untouched. And then standing behind the waist high counter is a pretty confused looking young human woman with like sort of like dirty blonde hair tucked into like a high pony. And she looks at you and she says, can I help you?
Hi, yes. Do you take donations?
I hate it here. I hate it.
Well,
I mean, that's not really like what we do here. I mean, like the City Watch usually drops them off. Is he okay?
Wait, so you're telling me a morgue that taking dead bodies is not what you really do?
Well, yeah, but there's like a procedure, right? Where like there's some paperwork that I think is filled out. This is kind of like my second day or so.
Okay.
So like I don't really.
Trust me, I totally
I'm pretty
understand.
sure we don't take drop-offs or whatever.
Listen, it's my second day too. All right, I'm willing to bet you don't see a lot of people come in with that. Well, I don't know where to drop this guy off. You know, I'm not going to leave him. I'm like pretending to be like a serial killer. I'm not just going to leave him in his bed.
She says, "Where did you get him?"
Oh God.
This is client confidentiality.
Snitches get stabbed. Cerulean is going to mentally message Arnold, since he doesn't have to open his mouth to respond, and Garath is likely busy being alive.
As I do.
And say, how's it going in there? Do we need to go ahead and go back, or
do I need to kill anyone for real?
So,
Calm down, Mel. Damn.
Yeah, you
Mel
have to kill
wants to
Arnold
know
to
if
make
she
it more
can murder
believable.
people.
so I say it looks like everything's gonna be okay. It's going perfectly. We're doing great. There's no danger here.
Roll
In fact,
for deception.
I'm gonna say I think you guys should just come in and we're gonna figure this out. Just come in.
Cerulean looks at Mel and goes, "It's going horribly. We need to go around back. Let's go."
So,
And that he said all of that out loud when
no.
Yeah, the
It's all
dead body's
on
like,
the
yeah,
top.
I think it's going pretty all right.
So,
Yeah, it's going pretty good, I think.
Just dead body with a drawn-on mustache, being like, everything's fine.
I didn't realize
I
we were
like slap
playing
him across
Weekend
the
at
face.
Bernie's
Shut
here
up.
on Critically Stupid. He's got like a pair of shades on. I'm doing fine.
Like Weekend at
It came up
Bernie's,
my
yeah.
nose.
All right. Mel and Cerulean, what is the play? Are we going front door, back door?
Uh,
The play is currently non-trademarked Mountain Dew coming out of Katie's nose.
Fantasy
Mountain
Mountain.
Thunder. God, I love Mountain Thunder.
What? Oh, no, it's okay. So Cerulean looks at Mel and goes, "So, Arnold said it was going perfectly, so I'm just gonna assume it's not."
That means it's going real bad. But do we want to be part of that shit show, or do we just want to like go do our own thing?
I say we go around the back, because if it's enough of a mess, then it'll be plenty distracting, and they'll, if they get dragged away, maybe old Adam, boyfriendy boy, whatever he is, can help us out. Question mark.
Scenario: if they start asking a lot of questions, you tell Arnold to just sit up. Just sit up. They think he's dead.
Yeah, number one.
But it has to be one of
witness
the,
Yeah.
like Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein's person.
Okay. Moving down the alley. Are we doing stealth checks or are we just walking?
I would like to look to see if I can see anybody, and that will determine if I go stealthily or not.
Not obviously. The alleyway looks empty. It is also like dark and sort of like poorly lit. However, you have dark vision. So
I do not.
don't you? You Mel does. That's right. Mel, the alley is empty. You know this. You see this.
I do see this. Okay. Then we can just walk. I mean, let's not like sing very loudly, but we can just
Okay.
We can sing a little quietly.
right.
Yeah.
We can hum.
Just a little
Bless
low.
my soul. Non-copyright infringement Herc is on our roll. All right. I'm gonna cut that whole part out.
No.
No, you're not.
I am. No, every
Absolutely not.
second of it. All right. So you
No.
make your way down the alley. And actually, as you're about halfway through, you do start to hear something. And rounding the corner, you see that this morgue sort of opens up into like a little channel carved between the various buildings surrounding it. Very clearly, like sort of like a loading dock scenario where these wagons do pull in. And there appears to be a sort of off hours work function happening on the loading dock immediately behind the morgue. You see an elf woman, a dwarf, and a young lanky human kicking back and having a few brewskis. Two of them are wearing sort of like white cloaks slashed with like a green ribbon and the crest of what you assume to be like it's vaguely similar to the crest that you've seen on the city watch uniform. So like some sort of like official badge. And they are sort of drinking and sort of convivially carrying on.
I would like to walk right up to them if Mel's cool with it, and just persuade them to let me in.
Oh God, because that works exactly 0 out of how many times?
I have a
It does
really
not
good
sound like Mel's cool
modifier.
with it.
Okay.
But I'm
You-
gonna talk it through with Mel first because I'm not a jackwagon. Okay, so Cerulean is gonna look at Mel and say, "Do you want to just like go up to them and lie, or do you want to like how you want to play this?"
I mean, so my tendency is to go a little bit more stealthy, sneaky, but I'm choosing to trust. If you think you got this, I will trust you on this, but don't you fuck me on this.
Also, remember every other time I've got this, like the last time I had this, I got backhanded by a troll. So,
Surely that wasn't the last time you claimed to have this.
Yeah, episode 1.
Yeah, come on. This is episode, and you've claimed to have this. I have no idea what episode this is. I'm pretty sure.
This is episode more than that.
Yeah, come on. But you,
Plus something.
so here's the real reason. I'm not real sneaky, but I'm real talky.
I told you I will trust you. It's just that in the past your real talkie wasn't as charmy as you.
Yeah, you know
My
what?
lies have worked.
In hindsight, maybe we should have had the 2 sneaky people go around back and the 2 talky people up front, but it's too late for that.
I
Yes,
know.
but this is way more fun. So here
So
we are.
many more ways it can go wrong.
here we go. Okay, you roll up, sort of just like
Hey y'all, what's up?
the lanky human street youth notices you first and says like, "Hey, what's up? Are you here for hi?"
Oh, I should have done this first.
Yeah,
I am going to make it look like I'm just very strange and doing some weird like hello gesture, but I'm actually going to be casting prestidigitation. And I am going to, on the inside of like my cloak, I'm going to have a little, like I'm going to copy the insignia on their outfit that shows that they are like a government official. And I'm going to stick it on the inside of my cloak.
All right.
And just, I flash the insignia and
okay.
say, "We're new here and we're not really sure the the front, there were some people up there, and it looked like I don't know what's going on in there.
Sure, murderer was in there.
So I don't know what's going on. Y'all actually might need to check on that. I have no idea. But I don't know where I'm supposed to go in, and I'm supposed to be assisting the mortician.
Okay. I would love a sleight of hand check as you attempt to fucking Febreze your way through casting a spell 6 feet away from these people.
Oh, heck yeah. You said sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a +0, but I got a 17.
All right. Yeah, 17 is pretty good. You sort of, the human youth's eyes sort of like narrow for a second, but you manage to like pass it. You flash this badge. Everybody is now turned to you and is sort of like looking at you curiously. The dwarf clears his throat and says, yeah, I think you should go check out that situation at the front. That seemed pretty important. I mean, if you're first timers, you really want to check out the desk. Yeah, they're gonna know what's up with you.
There was a dead body up there.
Yeah, this is a morgue. That tends to happen.
No. Shut up, Gary. No. I mean, like,
About to be another dead body here.
like potentially.
Hey, what? Hello? Who are you?
That wasn't Mel. That was Diana.
Look, I have an ex. He's a stalker. She's me. She's my protection. Just don't mind her. But I say, so the dead body, I understand it's the morgue. I love to perform autopsies all the time. It's my passion. Anywho, the situation up front was less of a sanctioned dead body, more of a serial killer situation. Potentially, there was just a random guy, and he had this very strange mustache. It was very white, but then there was a strange goatee happening here. They did not match.
Is it a little bit like y'all's mustaches? Because I didn't want to say anything, but like they're objectively they're pretty cool.
It's a condition. That's how we met.
Mustache
on the mustache forum.
It's called mustachios disorder. But anywho, he did not look like he was supposed to be toting around a dead body, but he was toting around a dead body. And I just don't know that I want to be around somebody that looks like they shouldn't have a dead body that does have a dead body, because then you never know what they did to have the dead body. So
What does somebody who looks like they're supposed to have a dead body look like?
Not like you.
That's a compliment, probably.
True.
Kind of is. It's not an insult. It's
The
just...
dwarf clears his throat and says, hey, Benny, you should probably go check out that front desk situation. Yeah, like that sounds like you should probably go check that out, right? And the human youth immediately straightens and sets down his beer bottle and says, yeah, I should probably go check that out. And starts walking actually towards you around the alley.
and I immediately to Arnold, no, to Garath, because Arnold can't say anything.
That'd be really funny to tell Arnold.
Yeah. To Garath say, hey, you got an incoming? There's a guy coming to check out your situation. Don't know what's going on.
At the front of the building, Garath and Arnold, this person standing in front of you introduces herself as Bree. And Bree is in the beginning stages of fully freaking out. She is sort of like grasping behind the desk, and you can hear pieces of like rustling paper and clipboard sort of like banging against each other. And she says, I think you have to fill out a form. I think it's either a 221B, or did you pick him off the street or in a bedroom? Because I think that's a different form.
So
you know what, Joe? Just go ahead, give me both forms. I'll fill them both out.
So at this point, I'm still just like slumped over Garion's shoulder. She's not seen my face at all, right? Imagine my arms are dangling dead. So in her like panic, I'd like to just wipe my face so it just looks like I'm mostly dirty. like so I don't look dead anymore. I just want to like clean, and I'm gonna go. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wipe my makeup off and go and just act super drunk. Is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So, that's my plan. So,
do you want to roll intimidation? Because I tell you what, I'll give you the sweetest bonus you've ever had in your life.
Intimidation or deception?
No, okay. Let me think.
I don't know. If you saw a dead body come to life, would you be intimidated?
No, but what I'd actually be relieved. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to try to relieve her and like that way it paves Garion as being a hero, and because he was trying to do the right thing with this body that he found, and now I'm a drunk guy that they can work to help together.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right.
So Gary sucks at his new job. Gareth, Gareth sucks
as a serial killer.
As a serial killer.
It's a solid save though, because at some point they would realize that Gareth can't fucking read the forms.
You know, I think give me both forms because it truly didn't matter. I'll
just doodle on it.
Just like sign the biggest
drawing ducks on every line.
My signature is I actually just like draw a little picture of myself.
I like to think he just does like a little like portrait of Arnold and put X's on the eyes, both forms, and just be like, "Here you go."
Clear as crystal.
Answer any questions you may have.
Bree screams pretty loud.
Like, do we hear it in the back? Loud?
Not that loud, no. And recoils and says like, "I thought you said he was dead."
Gareth is gonna look at Arnold, then look at Bree and go, well, this solves both of our problems, looks like.
He got better.
You can take all those forms back. I don't need I set Arnold down.
I just kind of stagger and sit and just kind of mumble to myself in a drunken state as I'm, trying to pay attention to what they're saying.
And I'll look at him and like mutter angrily, like, next time I tell you to put the drink down, you put the drink down. I saw someone put some in it.
In the back of the alley. After this human youth leaves and sort of like walks sort of like around the alley, you hear his footsteps recede. This is the part where if I was Matt Mercer, I would actually make it sound like his footsteps are receding, but I'm not a fucking voice actor, so he just leaves. You, Bestie, I would love an insight roll from you, please, because you're probably paying, I would say, slightly more attention to sort of like the scene as a whole.
I mean,
how many people does that leave from that
figure of sorts?
3? Okay.
3 people in the back of the alley. Or 4. I don't remember how many I said at the beginning because I'm not very good at this game.
Did you do 3 like this?
Yeah, 3.
I've only ever seen people with sausage fingers do a 3 like this.
Pretty rude.
That's some fat fucking fingers.
Yeah, damn. Bessie, what'd you roll?
15.
15. The bottles that these people are drinking from are unlabeled. Clean, how do you call it? There's no like label residue or anything on them. They are just blank bottles. But they are all
call it a homebrew. You're welcome. I'll be here all night.
It's crazy because Alex is gonna have to cut out like 6 seconds of dead air after that joke. That's insane.
I feel like me not being funny and being sad about it is
objectively funnier than the joke you were trying to make. What?
It's on brand. It tracks. It's fine.
Bessie, you also just noticed that these 3 are all like very much paying attention to you two. And the elf woman says like, so what do you guys like? It seems a little late for you to be starting your first shift, don't you think? Like you should probably start tomorrow, right? Like,
I'm sorry, does death wait for anybody?
It's a pretty sassy, but yet I will admit on point remark. No, but I think we're actually solid in here. I just talked to the how do you call it, mortician, and I think we're fine. So
as much as I would love to believe you, I don't like to leave my employment up to a stranger. So I would love to check for myself. Can that be like a persuasion type deal?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like roll it?
Roll it up.
16.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that for sure. Yeah, come on in. Do you need your angry looking lady to come with you, or does she wait out here?
I would prefer her to come with me. My ex is like the kind of crazy that knows they're crazy, and then takes it a step further. So
Yeah, sure. You can yeah, come on in. No worries.
I'm gonna just walk real confidently.
Sure.
And I assume a morgue would be like down.
Yeah, so they're sitting at like a loading dock, and then there's like a slight down ramp, and then there's like a door.
Okay.
And they just stand there, just let you pass.
Oh, they don't even like walk with me?
Mm-mm.
Oh no. We
Bessie,
don't have the
going with-
freaking scroll.
Bessie, you going with her?
Oh yeah, I have it. Damn.
We'll figure it out. That's fine.
Don't worry, I'll read it.
Okay. Bessie, I'm so sorry. I just asked you this, but you're going with Cerulean, right? You're not like gonna hang out. Okay. The two of you walk down the ramp, and Cerulean, you put your hand on the door and like open it, and it opens. It's not locked or anything. And the two of you feel daggers touch the back of your spines. And you hear the dwarf say, "All right, well, let's take this real easy." In the front of the shop, Garath and Arnold, Bree has calmed down a little bit, and is sort of like less hyperventilating, more just ventilating. And you hear the door open, and a sort of lanky-looking human youth comes in, and he looks at you before looking at Bree and saying, "Hey, yeah, I was checking it out. We heard from some people across the street that there was a commotion in here. Some neighbors complained."
Yeah, huge misunderstanding, really. Friend here got super hammered. I thought he was dead. You know how it goes. So just dropping him off like you would your kid at daycare, except I wasn't going to come back.
Just like my dad. Yeah, so that's not a scenario that's ever really happened to me before. So you guys are good though, right?
Yeah, I was wondering actually just real quick to make sure if the mortician could take a look at him, make sure he's not dead.
He says, "Yeah, the mortician's pretty busy. So if you guys are all set, I think you should actually just like hit the road. We're about to close, right? And we're having a little Friday evening brewski out back. So like we're just not really, we're full up. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get it. I just want to triple check, make sure. I mean, honestly, he looks kind of dead again. I point at Arnold in the chair, who is hopefully playing dead again.
Arnold?
Okay, hang on. So, I want to cast Charm Person on this guy and just act like I'm super happy and drunk. That's what I want to do.
Okay. He saves out of that, right?
Yes.
All
yeah.
right.
Saving throw, Wisdom 13 is what it says.
He rolled an 18.
Of course he did. So I just keep acting drunk.
All right, fair enough. Just go in for like a big hug or something.
Yeah.
Play
Just
off
like,
the spell.
what party? Did you say we're having fun, man? Let's go.
He grabs you and he says, yeah, it's a great time. Like, tell you what, why don't you come out back with us? And he starts to steer you towards the front door and starts to like leave with you.
Can I do an insight check to like, is he pulling him away with like malicious intent? Is he trying to like just get him out of there? Is he trying to lead him somewhere specific?
Sure, roll it up.
Cool. What's my insight? Damn, I'm a dumb motherfucker, dude. I got a 10.
He doesn't seem to be leading, like he's not like, it doesn't seem to be malicious.
Okay. Arnold, are you like resisting this at all? Or are you just being...
No, I'm
you're hammered. That's right.
So I'm hammered. So I'm acting hammered. And I'm gonna kind of like look back at you, like kind of do like a, you're good. I'm gonna distract this guy, like
All
you know.
right, cool.
So I'm like, oh, let's party, guys. Let's do this. I have instruments. I play music. Let's do this. And I'm just acting drunk and going.
And I'm
with
gonna
this
go for the tried and true classic and look at Bree and go, "Is there a restroom nearby?"
No. You have to leave. 2, also, please. We're
Okay,
closing.
I know this is a little bit jarring. I just need to pee. Nothing weird about that.
Right, yeah, but we're closed. The bathroom is closed and dirty.
Are there
You don't
other
want to pee in a dirty bathroom.
Are there other people in this lobby?
Nope.
No, it's just us. Okay.
Garion, give me a perception check. Actually, please.
Okie dokie. That's a positive modifier.
Hey. Actually, Arnold, you give me one too, please and thank you. Because this guy's kind of got you really close, so you'd be able to pick up a few details about him.
Cool.
Guess who rolled a 19? Well, a 16 plus 3.
19's pretty good. Arnold, what'd you get?
Oh, the 20. Awesome. That's
A nat 20?
nat 20. Yeah.
Bang.
Okay. Arnold, this guy escorting you, he's got sort of like your arm like around his shoulder, because I assume you sort of like threw yourself at him, sort of like,
Yeah.
come here, buddy.
Okay.
So he's sort of like holding your weight, and as such, his sort of like white, sort of like city robes billow open a little bit.
Mhm.
And you see that they're very thick, right? Very heavy robes, almost like, heavy duty city stuff. Thick enough to disguise the spattering of blood on the inside of his breast.
Oh boy. Okay.
Of this robe.
It is?
Garion, you notice out of the corner of your eye, stuck in the wall, is a crossbow bolt. Just sort of poking out of the wall.
These are not the city workers.
Where is it in relation, like, to where Bree is looking?
Immediately behind her head.
Is
So
she
if
like
you were-
is she at a desk?
Yeah, she's standing behind sort of like a half counter, like you would find at like any sort of like doctor or dentist's office.
Cool. I have a super dumb fucking idea.
I literally cannot wait.
Oh no.
The classic. How did that? Hey, the crossbow bolt in the wall behind you. How did that get there?
Total party kill.
Her eyes sort of like flicker, and she says, what are you talking about?
They're in the wall directly behind you. This isn't like a goldable on the ceiling. If I had to,
Right? Oh yeah, like if I say bagel really slowly,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna sound like something else.
If I had a fantasy phone, I'd take a fantasy photo for you. But there is a crossbow bolt that it was almost like somebody tried to shoot the receptionist. How new did you say you were?
She turns and looks at this crossbow bolt.
As soon as she turns her head, I duck below the desk for a stealth roll.
Hell yeah! All right, give it to me. You know what? Take advantage because that was cool as hell.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa. Way to go,
First
Garion.
roll is an 8. Yikes. Well, I haven't
Oof.
added the modifier yet, but after that.
Advantage. You got this.
Second
Manifestation.
roll
Nat
is
20.
a 15 plus 7 is a 22.
Okay. You duck behind this counter and sort of like instinctively like hustle around the corner so that you're not in the
because
same.
I know that's the first place she'll look over the counter.
You hear a rustling of fabric and a clicking. And then you hear her mutter under her breath and swear out of your sight because you're tucked sort of behind this counter.
Right.
Arnold, what do you do with this information that this guy has? Mel and Cerulean, I know you're sort of held in stasis. I have not forgotten about you.
It's fine. I don't value any of my vertebrae.
So I see him and he's clearly has blood on him. And I'm still acting drunk and I'm just like, oh buddy, are you okay, man? And it looks, like, oh,
You're covered in blood.
Oh no, hang on. Well, hey man, you You okay? Is everything okay over here? Where are you taking me? Where are we going? Are we gonna party? Is everything all right there? Is there a fight club? Is it a fight club? Because I'm real good at fight clubs.
You're fucking up the one rule, dude. What are you doing?
He sort of like steers you to one side, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing to worry about." And he's angling you towards the alley, to the side of the building. He says, "Yeah, there's it's not quite a fight club, but there's a club of sorts, and it's just around the corner. So like, you said hey, party time. Let's go."
Okay. I'll cast Minor Illusion, and it's just gonna be my friend's voice being like, "Hey, come back here for a second," and that's like off in the distance, as if he's calling to me.
Like
distance,
my voice?
the distance where?
Back to from where we came. Like I'm projecting as if my friend.
So from the doorway kind of
from the doorway. Yeah.
So it's like that's where I went.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hear that, I'm like, oh, I'll be right back. You go ahead. I'll head this way in a second. Let me go check on whatever that was. And I just like turn.
Okay. Make a strength check for me, please.
Okay, just 15.
Okay. This dude tries to choke up and grab your wrist before you walk away from him, but you're just like straight up too strong. So he awkwardly just sort of like stands there like, yeah, you should probably check.
Hammer is so strong.
You should probably check that out.
Yeah, I got it, man. Don't worry about me.
I got this other thing actually. So you do your thing and then I'll do my thing this way.
Okay, so I kind of keep an eye on him as I walk back to the room, but I don't go through the door. I just kind of I look in if I can. I try to see what's going on.
Okay, you look in just in time to see the Bree, the receptionist, holding a hand crossbow, leaping over the countertop into the lobby proper. Garath, you hear a set of footsteps and like a grunt as Bree like leaps over the counter. You can hear it pretty quickly, or pretty clearly, I should say. What do you do?
Oh fuck. I think my goal, I want to see if I can make my way into the back without alerting the guard.
Okay, well, there is a door with sort of like a window through it that you assume leads to the back. I will say that there is a guard actively, like, I'm going to say 5 feet behind you. You've got about one action before this person turns the corner and sees you.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it, I suppose.
Throw yourself back there.
Let's do it, man.
Okay.
Of course.
Sure. Stealthily, you open the door. It squeaks because it's a door.
Damn it. But I did it stealthily, that bastard.
You see the same scene that Cerulean and Mel are about to see from the opposite side.
Do I see Cerulean and Mel with their knives to their back or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're gonna pause you right at the door, and we're gonna flip it back to Cerulean and Mel. Cerulean and Mel, the elf woman, while having one blade against Mel's spine, gently pushes this door open and says, like, go on. And you see a morgue.
But there's also a blade to my back, right?
Correct. Yeah, the dwarf has a blade to your back. The elf woman has a blade to Mel's back. Okay. Cerulean, I think you're actually technically going first in this sort of like theater of the mind order that we've got going on here. You are looking at a city morgue with black stone tables and doors sort of pocketing the walls. However, all of the details of the city morgue immediately escape your notice because you're too busy staring at the central figures in this room. Because the central figures in this room are a gentleman in a brilliantly cut black cloak with silver trim, gently stirring a cup of tea. He has his long hair tied back in a bandana and a black beard shot with gray. And he is speaking to what appears to be a ghost.
Tight.
And
the body before we did.
As you walk through, Mel, you recognize the form of the pirate captain
Yeah.
that you
Fuck yeah,
shot
dude.
in the neck a couple days back. And actually, as he turns to you in sort of like a mild, polite curiosity, there is a recently healed cut, sort of at the open collar of his shirt. And he arches an eyebrow and says, "Oh, visitors?"
Oh.
Cerulean with this knife to her back, and the dwarf that is a man that was holding it to my back.
Correct. Yes.
Kind sir, if you would remove the dagger from my back, I said that being a mortician's assistant was my passion, not what I'm phenomenal at. If you do not remove that dagger from my back right now, I will put your brain in 2 pieces and then it will run down the back of your throat.
The dagger does not move. However, the figure in the center of the room raises his teacup and says, technically the brain's already in 2 pieces. Do I know you from somewhere?
Is he talking to Mel?
He is talking to Mel.
Yeah.
No.
Is she fangirling?
Those faces.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's hot, right?
Oh, he is.
Is he still hot? Is he still hot dead?
He's not dead. He's alive.
He's talking to the dead, which in some ways makes him hotter.
Man.
But he is talking to you, Bessie.
I'd like to know you. I'm just kidding.
In the biblical sense.
Oh gosh.
Yes. I'm sorry, what did he say? He said
He said, "Do I know you from somewhere?" But he said it with like a twinkle in his eye, like clearly he remembers.
I came to check on that. How's that?
Oh, that's very kind of you. It's actually healing quite well. It was an excellent shot, I must say. But I've lived through worse. What exactly are you doing here?
That's an incredibly long story. I'd love to tell you, but you got a thing in my back.
Is that a metaphor for the dagger? Yes, of course.
Is
So
that your
you
dagger, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah.
Why is your penis so sharp?
But yeah, that was very subtle. Gary. Yes. Wow.
Episode title. Why is your penis so sharp?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Critically Stupid Season 2. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alexander James. I'm the Dungeon Master, and I'm just generally stoked. We are, as per usual, playing a loose interpretation of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, an official Dungeons & Dragons licensed module written by Chris Perkins, Michelle Carter, Scott Fitzgerald Gray, and Kim Mohan. If you or any of your buddies, your pals, your squad want to get into D&D, I recommend going to dnd.wizards.com. They've got all sorts of things for you to start your own campaign. They've got dice and books and pencils and branded fanny packs for you to put those pencils and dice into and carry them around. You're very mobile that way. It's incredibly convenient. As always, you can tweet us at CritStupid to end up as a character on the show. I've had a couple of characters in previous episodes. I've got a lot more coming up in the future. And I love using our community names to name those little characters that tend to show up and be fan favorites. So tag us in a post. Let us know how we're doing, and I'll use your name in a future episode. We're trying something new for seasons 2 and 3. We're going to have branded graphics, the creators of the show, that we're going to be sharing that say, like, listening to a new episode, or like coming up this Friday. Keep an eye out for those images. If you share them and tag us, the show, with them, your name will go into a pool to be a featured listener, and I'll display your handle in a mid-roll, such as this one. Shout you out for listening, and then also try to prop up any projects that you're obviously working on or that you're pretty passionate about to the best of my ability. And yeah, it's a little bit of free promotion for you, and it's great for you and for the show. So let's get in it together. Symbiosis, baby. We are doing a big push to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, that big magical number that lets us buy better equipment and subscribe to better recording software. So if you haven't already, I would love it if you could subscribe to the show, if you could recommend it to a friend and have them subscribe. If you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of those audio-only mediums, if you could leave us a rating and a review. Really anything to like get us kind of pushed up in that algorithm, get us in front of new people who might like the show like you do, hopefully. I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I very, very much appreciate you, and I love you. All right. Bye. He says, oh, Celise, you can drop that. She's not going to hurt anybody.
Yet.
Subtle burn.
Come on in. Don't be shy. Just got one more question here, and then we'll have a little chat.
Is this the dead body that we were going to question as well?
Ooh, that's a great question. Cerulin, why don't you give me a quick perception check? Let's see how many details you're picking up in the midst of this sort of like hectic scene.
So
I'm manifesting in
this,
now.
right?
Garath, what'd you say?
I don't see this. I'm in a nearby room, not the same room.
Yeah, no, you're in a period of stasis, just like Mel and Katie were. So just hang on a second. Katie, what'd you get?
Get it?
Yeah, nat 20.
Yeah, I'm going to
Let's
manifest a natural
go.
20 and just boom.
This person is talking to a figure with sort of like a drawn, drab face. They're wearing sort of like plain clothes, but they're marked up with like a bunch of tattoos. One of which is a winged snake across the inside of their throat.
Cool.
I will save you the note hunting. The winged snake you've seen before is a tattooed sign of the Zentarim, or the Black Network.
Oh, that's the rival gang to the Ten Spokes, right?
Of the Xanathar. Yes, with Sylvie. And so do I recognize on Pirate Boy,
Pirate Man.
does he have a snake tattoo anywhere?
He is pretty heavily what the fuck did you just say, bestie?
Nothing.
He is pretty heavily tattooed. Actually, he extends one hand to drink from his teacup, and you can see that he's got a series of faces tattooed across his knuckles.
That's hot.
Pretty intricate detail.
I
And then
too killed people and have tattoos of. I don't have the tattoos yet, but
We're working on it.
you'll get there, bestie. Don't worry about it. The short answer, Katie, is not overtly no.
So not visibly. Are there any other things that I noticed with a natural 20?
You
In this
notice a
room?
lot. You notice a lot with the natural 20. There are a number of doors sort of like along this wall that have been opened. A couple of tables are haphazardly like pulled open and closed, sort of like they were looking for something specific. Exactly. There is another door on the far side of this room with a little porthole in it. And there are no less than 3 dead bodies on the floor, literally around this guy's feet. He's actually resting his feet on one.
Oh, good. Do I, through a porthole of another door, see Garath?
Not yet. The timing of this scene is a little tricksy because I deliberately held you two in stasis to like bounce back and forth. So not yet.
Okay. And how many people are in the room?
So it is this gentleman in the black cloak, the one would assume ghost, the 2 compatriots at your back, and then you remember there was a third person at the dock that you don't see, probably left behind as a lookout.
Okay. But I don't know if this is the person I'm supposed to be talking to that's dead.
You do not. And actually, as you look to sort of like scry some details from this face, this gentleman takes another sip of his tea and he sets it down in a saucer and he pulls a silver spoon actually out of nowhere, just sort of like from his sleeve, and stirs it. And very gently asks, So who has the stone? And the figure is is outlined in a pale green nimbus, almost like the flash of St. Elmo's fire against the horizon. And its edges are faded, almost like in a spectrally sort of like blur. And as it opens its mouth, Cerulean and Mel, I would love you both to make Constitution saving throws. Bessie, you've got a saving throw box, and there's a Constitution score in it.
Oh,
That's going to be
sick.
the D20 plus that score.
Not really too terribly worried about this one. I don't even know what my mother is. You said intelligence?
Constitution.
Constitution. Oh, shoot. 22.
Wow, quite good.
Yeah, I got a 16 and that plus 6 months.
I'll find it.
I got you. You're fine.
It's under your like normal, like your strength and your dex, and it's like over to the left, I believe.
Constitution 18.
18. Okay.
Nice.
Neither of you take damage as the sound of screeching metal on metal and like nails on a chalkboard surrounds the words coming out of this figure's mouth as it says, "Rock gnome took it."
The only gnome we've met so far was the homie with the bear, right, Sean? No,
There have
that's-
been two. There have been two. You've seen
Zoblob.
Zoblob,
Gorilla?
exactly, very good, and Daniel, the gnome with the gorilla. I'll tell you right now.
Hold on, isn't in the little cute little cinematic intro you did? Wasn't there a gnome with a jewel of sorts who ran into an apartment and then fled into the night? I remember shit.
I will tell you right now. You can
Who was
eliminate.
looking at a stone? Look at
You
you.
can eliminate Daniel because that guy's I love him, but he's an idiot and he's not relevant to the story in any capacity. Gary and I will neither confirm nor deny that the cinematic intro to the show featured a rock gnome looking at a stone that was covered in blood.
Cool,
Do you recall?
Cool.
Good on you for remembering that. I did not.
And this figure in the black cloak leans back as this spectral figure swells and then deflates almost like a balloon, like the air has been let out of him, and he vanishes into nothing. But it's not funny. It's like a menacing balloon.
Oh, okay. So minus the fart noise that I just made.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I was thinking like it expanded and then like blinked out like a vortex.
Or like
type deal.
a collapsing star.
That
Yeah,
would have been
yes.
cooler, but no, I went with a balloon because I'm a writer and very good at what I do.
At least you didn't say like a whoopee cushion or something. You know, that would've-
So this figure in the black cloak stands up, sets his teacup on one of the tables, actually next to a corpse,
Baller.
and turns to you and says, like, "All right, now I think we can talk about exactly why you're here, because once is a pleasure, twice is a question."
Still a pleasure.
Now the door slams open, and you see.
I didn't slam it. I was very stealthy.
You were stealthy, Garath, but you were also in a very small room being actively pursued. So, all right, I will say you didn't slam it, but the door opens noticeably,
Aww.
like a car accelerating. Exactly.
No, that's not what that sounded like in person. My bad.
The car opens like a Ford Mustang revving up to 60 to 60.
I just want to know what car you have that sounds like a sewing machine engine.
I have a New York City subway car.
You own a subway car? That's
Foolish
insane.
shit, right? I am a member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's why I legally had to talk about the Band-Aids a couple episodes ago.
Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the pirate dude.
Future
I
husband.
guess with a natural 20, Cerulean would notice that he is objectively very handsome.
I will say, Cerulean, he is quite hot.
I feel like I could figure that out with a 1.
Yeah. Context clues alone, this dude be dripping.
I haven't even seen him yet. I just got in the room. I'm like,
So we're talking like Jason Momoa is up in here.
I'm actually
looking
not gonna attach a picture to it because it's better for you to just imagine whatever. Because like I see somebody different than you see than Mel sees. Like
she's gonna be pretty composed, but she's gonna stutter at the beginning because she doesn't have a lot of experience with people she thinks are attractive.
okay,
And
Ouch, all of us. Ouch.
y'all a bunch of uggos.
Have you not noticed your mustache, ma'am? Like, what are you?
oh
yeah,
my
real
gosh,
quick,
we
real
both
quick,
still
I
have
wanna-
hold
I
on.
want to take off my mustache real fast.
No,
If I can throw
no.
that in there.
Canonically, it stays on.
Damn.
And she's gonna go. But
By the way, have
she's
you
committed.
been on the mustache forums? Because might I say,
God bless. So she's gonna look at him and just say, I feel like I would like some answers, considering I'm not the one that held a dagger to your back. You know, except for that one time that my friend put a crossbow in your neck. But it's fine. I just I'm coming here to do some communion with the dead. And by that I mean morticianry is my passion. But she just looks at him and says, but seriously, why are there so many dead people? And she's not referring to the morgue part. She's
I
he's
did get
directly
it. Yeah.
looking, but then Katie realized as soon as she said it out loud that she's literally in
I'm org.
a morgue.
You bust into this room
Stealthily.
stealthily, and this guy turns to you and Mel. I think you notice it first. The cool sort of
Aura.
Facade,
Vibe.
exterior.
you know what's really fucking helpful is when you're trying to think of a word and there are two ding dongs suggesting all the wrong words.
Malarkey.
You notice the cool malarkey on his face sort of like evaporate.
Composure?
And out of nowhere, there's a hand crossbow in his hand, and he's pointing it at Garion, who I assume is like sort of like hunched over because he was being pretty stealthy.
I mean, Garath will hold his hands up in a pacifying gesture because something tells me with the crossbow bolt pointed directly at me, he sees me, right?
He does, yes. I mean, I will say it was a good stealth check, Gareth, but like there is one door into this room.
Well, what can you do? There were two doors, the one from outside.
That's true. But you opened the other one.
Yeah,
So
that'll do it.
all right, so Gareth, you stand up, sort of like
Yeah.
Cerulean, when she sees Gareth completely by himself, immediately starts to panic. And internally, she's going to try to keep her face together. And she is going to very aggressively into Gareth's mind say, where is Arnold? And then she's going to try to get in touch with Arnold and make sure like he's alive.
Gareth is going to like visibly wince because she basically just shouted into my dome. Jesus, he's fine. You know, you could also just ask Arnold.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Arnold.
It's been kind of too long.
Hey,
I don't
Arnold.
think I can probably.
Hey, Arnold.
hey Arnold, what are you up to?
Hey, Arnold.
So, okay, so I'm from the outside of the morgue. Can I see inside and see like what the woman is doing inside? Like, can I see her at all?
I think where you fall in this sort of like haphazard order that I'm going in, you see her whip around the corner with her hand crossbow out. So she's going around the corner, sort of like deeper into the morgue, clearly in pursuit of your colleague and erstwhile best friend, Garath.
Okay, so she is going in the same direction that he just went in.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
That.
Okay.
I lock the door behind me.
I
And
go
it's just like one of
home.
those saloon doors.
Go home.
I go and kick it with those people having brews.
So, actually, you know what? Screw it. I have an idea. I'm going to cast Disguise Self, and I'm going to look like the bloody guy that tried to drag me away. I'm just going to look like him.
Aha!
And I'm going to enter the door. I'm going to enter the door. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, so you change your appearance and walk through the lobby, and she turns, she hears your footsteps on the floor and turns, and she goes, "Oh, Benny. I thought you
I'm gonna mimic the guy's voice since I'm proficient at that, and I'm gonna say I took care of that one. Where's the other guy?
I think he just went through this door right here. Do you want to?
I'll take care of it.
Captain Starsong's in there. He told us not to disturb him. So like,
oh, Starsong knows. Starsong and I he knows. I'll take care of this. Don't worry. You rest, and I'm gonna try to just kind of persuade her to let me walk by and go find him.
Okay, all right.
Persuasion check.
Yeah, it's gonna be a persuasion check.
Got it. All right.
Give it to me.
Let's see.
Honestly, I don't know how she could have possibly figured out that I got
20. I got 13 plus 7. 20.
A dirty 20.
Yeah.
Damn, plus 7 is fucking
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah.
All right.
Charisma.
She lets you pass, but she has not taken her finger off the trigger of the hand crossbow. So she is on high alert.
Okay.
You walk through this door as I think you walk through this door just in time to see Garath stand up with his hands above his head.
Okay. Gotcha.
So now you are all in the same room on the same timeline. I did it.
But we don't know that that
expert
is Arnold.
DM.
Oh shit. You see a gangly human youth walk into the room behind Garath and say,
I say, "Oh, there you are," and I put my hand on Garath.
okay. This figure in the black cloak says, yes, Benny, I knew you were a worthy addition to the gang. Well done.
Cerulean is screaming into Arnold's, "Where are you? Like, where are you?"
Yes, I'm right here. I'm right here. What do you mean? I'm right here. I'm right
He says
here.
it out loud.
I'm just right here.
Again.
I'm right here. I'm right in
says
front of
it
you.
out
I'm right here.
loud.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm like, you see me? I see you. You see me? I'm right here.
And so she just like has this like moment where she just like squints her eyes and is like, so I would like to try to see if that's Arnold. I think that it's a spell, so I think it has to go above the spell.
Arnold, you can't drop it for one person because that would be ridiculous.
But okay, I get it. You make sense. That makes sense. Let me see.
You're gonna think that I'm like absolutely.
Don't pick it up and hold it up to the camera. Did you get it?
Yeah,
Nat
I got
20?
it at 20.
No
Oh, okay.
shit. Oh yeah, it's Arnold. You can see it.
Okay.
You actually see him hunched down a little bit. He doesn't have to be, but he's like squinched just so that he fits inside his own illusion.
Nice.
So I immediately will say into Gareth's head and Mel's, but I'll have to do them one at a time. I will let both Mel and Garath know that Arnold is the Benny that we see.
Okay. I think this figure would turn to Mel because Mel is like the most intriguing to him of sort of anybody, and he'd say, "So what brings you along my neck of the woods?"
Nah.
My neck of the woods.
Puns, bestie.
Puns are the
I am in
lowest
character.
form
I am
of
in
comedy.
character right now, Bessie. If you could please respect the space, thank you.
Puns are the lowest form of comedy.
That's what I'm saying. Just
I do remember somebody very intelligent saying that, and I do
I
believe
don't.
that's true. Wow.
If you could
okay.
hear my eyes. Wait, what?
Mel.
I just said I remember someone very intelligent saying that. I just said I don't.
Okay, bet.
let me just say, oh, what brings you to my neck of the woods? And he's still pointing like a crossbow it.
He's lowered his hand crossbow because he saw Benny come up behind Gareth, so he assumes that one of his men sort of like has the drop on him. So he's just sort of like staring at you in mild curiosity.
I'm gonna say, I think that we're here for the same thing, actually.
Whoa, fuck! What's the name of the lady on the note that I got?
It is
Something Raven.
Lady Haventree. Ramalia Haventree says hello.
Yeah, can I just say, like, with my hands still, like, I'm just here to talk to Ramalia Haventree. Here for a meeting.
Oh, we don't know what she's associated with. I'm worried about it.
Going out on a limb.
Yeah. Okay. That intrigues him. That pulls him away from Mel, which very few things have been able to do in the last 5 minutes.
Later.
And he cocks his head at Garath and says,
My breath catches.
I said he cocks his head.
Yeah, but he made eye contact.
He did.
That's enough for me.
He says, Lady Haventree doesn't really stoop to this level of operation. This is frontline work, and the leader and patron of the Harpers can't be seen breaking into the city morgue.
Well, I agree. He certainly can't be seen breaking into the city morgue. So nobody saw anything, right? I didn't see anything.
That would be pretty convenient because you've seen me.
I don't even know who you are. Which is just true. I've never seen him before in my life.
Right.
I was just waiting for the outburst from Arnold, but Arnold is in character right now, which I appreciate the hell out of.
Yeah.
He looks between Mel, Cerulean, and Garath, who he assumes is like the entirety of the homies here. And then he looks at the bodies at his feet, and all of you notice sort of immediately that the bodies are split sort of in two. One of them is a white-robed city official. It's a person who works here actually, who is dead. The other two look like pretty wicked ruffians. Face tats, shaved eyebrows, which everybody agrees is the hallmark sign of somebody who's bad news.
Are we talking missing eyebrows or like the little?
No, like
notches
they themselves have
Big ol'
carved a
shit.
little knot. Like, come on, bro. Anyway, but he looks at these sort of like ruffians at his feet and says, like, well, I must be candid. I think it would be best if I vacated the premise, seeing as how we have almost certainly alerted the city guard to our presence. And, well, I might not be Lady Ramalia Haventree, but Captain Davil Starsong can't be seen breaking into a city morgue either. So.
Did you say Davil?
Davil, yes.
I thought Cerulean said that out loud for a second, like making fun. You say fucking Dave? Ew.
Davil?
You're not hot at all.
Davil.
David.
So he turns back to Mel and says, if I can be assured of your cooperation, I think that we can all leave this evening amicably. No harm, no foul. Provided, of course, that perhaps I could see you again.
Yeah.
Does she just just? Do you stop being able to
No, I'm
function
just-
at that point?
No, like I'm like way cooler, and
Yeah.
Mel is way cooler than
And Mel is really confident and calm all the
like,
time.
Mel's just like, yeah. So Mel would say, I think, yeah, I'm gonna wanna check on that at least one more time. Just make sure that it's healing up.
Let's get a rain check.
Yes, it could be infected. We might have to get some of that poison out. So he and his ruffians turn to leave. Actually, he orders them to put their arms up, and unless provoked by you guys, they're going to roll out.
But Benny can't.
No provocation. I will just say, hey, I don't want to put you out. We don't really know where we are. We got caught up. We're new around here. Would it be a problem if one of your guys just helped guide us out of here when we were done? We'll be quick. What about that one over there? That one that's standing over by our other friend. He's got a little boat. What if you just helped us get out of here?
And Cerulean goes, at the very least, we
Pat
need
my
to
eyes at him and take a page out of Cerulean's book. But I actually like him, unlike Cerulean, who's tugging on Adam's heart for no reason except her own selfish reason. I actually would like to marry this guy.
I love this.
Ouch.
Damn!
You called us all up
Ouch.
here.
I went
cute, okay?
dude, like a split second before Mel said that, I was going to be like, oh yeah, are you also going to lie about your name, identity, and intentions?
My intentions are pure.
I doubt that sincerely.
Yeah,
Bestie.
that part was a lie. My intentions are notably the opposite of pure.
Keep the details to yourself, please, and thank you. Go ahead and roll that persuasion check, though.
Wait, is that a
If
thing?
Cerulean tries to help her with it, can she get the advantage?
Actually, if anybody tries to throw in and give her,
I'll also do Bardic Inspiration. I can give her that.
okay.
That's
So
awesome.
Cerulean, what do you say?
I say, at the very least, I think he was the last one to see our other friend, and I need to know where he went. Can we talk to him for a minute?
All right. Bestie, roll that persuasion. Roll it twice. Take the higher of the two.
And then Bardic Inspiration's a D6,
Plus
right?
D6, yeah.
Higher the two, 17.
All right. Now take one of those. Take a D6, just a regular 6-sided die, and roll that and add it to it, please.
That was only 3. Right.
All right. So zombie 20.
That was to add to your roll.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's a zombie 20?
It's a 20 made from different numbers. Like if you roll a nat 20, that's a critical success. But if you get to 20 with like a 17 and a 3 or a 16 and a 4, etc. But Captain Dave Starsong hesitates for a moment and then shrugs and says, yeah, sure. Benny, check in with you later, bud.
I just kind of, I do like a, gotcha.
And Cerulean just whispers to Mel, how are you going to get back in contact with that hunk of a man?
Love finds a way.
I gave him my fantasy phone number.
Fantasy phone, yeah. Fantasy
He added me on fantasy Snapchat.
He
I'm gonna slide into his fantasy Twitter DMs.
they walk out of the room. And actually, as just before this dude's sort of black cloak leaves the doorway, he flicks his fingers, and a single sealed piece of parchment bound with a red ribbon flies across the room and lands exactly in front of Mel.
I really hope he gave it to me again.
It's like,
Why do
It's
they
like
keep
a-
giving me all these fucking papers?
Do I just catch it, or is it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can catch it. You can just sort of.
pluck it out of the air. Can
Excellent.
we infer that he is a wizard?
You can infer whatever you want. I'm not going to
just
tell you
summon
shit.
something out of thin air, so
Right? Wizard? Okay. Are they out of the room?
They are gone. It is just you.
Okay. I'm gonna. Oh man, and Benny's gonna be out there and have no idea what's just happened. I am going to turn to the door that they have just left out of, and I'm gonna shove one of the exam tables with a body on top of it in front of it. So if they try to come back in, they can't. And
These
then-
exam tables are like thousands of pounds. You dislocate your shoulder.
then they'll really not be able to get in.
Okay.
There's a if I may be so bold, there's a bolt that you can.
Okay, I'm gonna lock the door. All
There
right.
you go.
So cool. gonna lock the door and then turn to Garath and say, we've got like 5 minutes. We need that scroll and we need to figure out which body to talk to. So I'm going to encourage everybody to start opening up the doors that have all the bodies and look for like a toe tag that says something about them dying in a fire or by Troll Skull Manor, like on our road.
That's cool. I had an idea in case to buy us time. Arnold, if you were to lose the thing.
Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah.
So at this point, if they show up again because they got Benny or whatever, we're just going to say, our friend showed up and he said that he knew the way out. We told Benny to go. We don't know what he's confused about now, just hypothetically.
Yeah, I was going to say, I cancel my disguise self anyway. And, just
And
like,
also on Benny's way out, he hit his head really hard on the door and doesn't remember any of the past like 5 minutes. He thinks he was somewhere else. It's weird.
Oh,
you
all the blood.
you search through sort of all of these doors. What are you looking for? Like you're looking for from locations from like Troll Skull specifically?
Yeah, and I'm looking for like obvious burn victims because explosion.
Oh yeah, and
You-
Garath pulls out the scroll and also like 3 receipts from Troll Skull going, it's one of these ones.
And Cerulean just looks at him and like plucks the spell scroll out. We've got to teach you how to read.
There are a number of, I mean, this like it's a morgue, so there's a lot of bodies. However, narrowing your search by burn victims specifically, there are only 11 or so bodies that are sort of like immolated to the point of being considered a burn victim. Of those 11, 4 of them are from Troll Skull Alley. There are 3 humans, and then there is one diminutive figure that looks to be the remnants of a rock gnome.
Okay.
We should use our scroll on one of the humans. Our one-time use scroll, our one and only scroll. Let's use it on one of the
I swear on
Definitely,
everyone that's good and
absolutely.
holy. So Cerulean says, this looks like it might be our guy. Little guy. And
Looks like this might be our gnome.
Yep. Are we good with using it on this guy?
Can I do an investigation check or something?
Yeah, sure. Roll it up, Arnold.
Yep, I'm gonna do it just to. I'm sure that's the right answer, but let's do it. You might as well be smart. I got 13.
Yeah, it's a rock gnome.
Okay, I mean that's all we know. Okay, so
There's the
We-
tag on his toe says Jome Deer.
Improv, baby.
Instead of John Doe. I hate you.
I've never been the victim of a more savage attack than Garion looking the camera dead center and saying improv, baby.
You know, he is our improv extraordinaire.
How
Yeah,
fucking dare you.
local improv expert. Hey.
All right, Cerulean.
I'm gonna cast the spell with the spell scroll and
Okay.
try to talk to Jome Deer.
Jome Deer. You cast the spell. Being that it is a spell scroll, it's pretty easy to use. It's like a one-time, like tear here, and it does a thing. And you place your hand on the chest of this rock gnome, sort of muttering
Love
this
touching dead bodies.
incantation. And you feel this like sort of like arcane power travel like from the scroll, like burning through your skin, traveling up your veins, and sort of like down your other hand. And as you mutter the last word of this spell, you see this figure's eyes flutter open. But where the previous ghost's eyes were a pale spectral green, the eyes staring straight into yours are blood red.
That's probably
And 2
fine.
hands slam against your wrist.
Like to
And the-
pull it off of him or to hurt me.
To hold you fast. And the last words, or the last thing you hear, is a deep guttural laughter.
Probably
The
fine.
last thing I hear.